It's not getting it.
All right, here's a tough one. What are you most afraid of?
What am I most afraid of?
Slow death.
Amen.
What?
A slow death, where you feel the process,
Amen.
and it's
Yeah.
I mean something
Alzheimer's
like
or Lou
colon
Gehrig's
cancer,
disease
colon
or
cancer,
something like that.
Yeah.
I've had friends die from Lou Gehrig's disease, and that's just the most, because they never lose their mind.
Yeah. That'd be
They
terrible.
lose their body, but they don't lose their mind.
Yeah.
I'm most scared of besides my wife.
Rightly so.
It's a hard thing for me because I don't have a lot of fear.
It's good.
You do, though. You said it
that's not my
earlier. You have a
personality.
fear of failure.
I have a fear
That's
of
what
failure.
drives you.
And that's the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to think of something else besides that, and part of my problem in life is that even at a young age I just didn't have any fear.
That's not a bad thing, though. That's
No, it's
allowed you
not,
to
but
have
it-
a lot of
But it can cause you a
experience.
lot of injury pain.
Mm-hmm.
You will hurt yourself without fear. You had to learn to respect.
Mm-hmm.
You had to learn to respect fear. And
Yeah.
that takes a little while to learn. If you're one of those type of individuals really not scared of much, you have to learn to respect fear. And learn to go, probably ought to not do that. I have no fear of dying, because I already had a near-death experience, and I'm certainly not afraid of that now. That was the most amazing thing that ever happened to me in my life. I just think Nas feels right. I have a fear of failure, but I really don't fear failure because failure drives me. And I almost welcome it every once in a while because it makes me go, ain't gonna do that again. We're gonna get better. We're gonna find a way to get better. We're gonna find a way to adapt. We're gonna find a way to make things happen. That's what I do. I make things happen. And so that's a real hard question for me to give a real honest answer. I'm not really scared of much.
All right. That's a real answer. Now, Ms. Female?
I mean, just on the normal, like I said earlier, public speaking, but really, I worry, I don't know if I, just fear it, but, something horrible, like my kids dying before me. I worry about that.
That's a horrible thing to have to deal with, yeah.
Well, and I mean, it just, yeah, I can't even, I've had dreams about that, and it's just horrible to think about.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I've said it. I've said it before, but it's really kind of. It was kind of a weird fear born from seeing the opposite. It's kind of and of course I wouldn't be around to know it, but dying and there'd be nobody to go to the funeral. That's I think that's why relationships are important. You think. If you think about
Not dying alone, just
Yeah.
like somebody actually not showing up to
yeah,
warn you.
yeah. I mean, I remember when my grandfather passed, or when my pop passed. There were people coming from all over the country, people I had never even heard of, and I was like, "Who is that again?" But they all loved my grandfather. They all loved my pop.
But that's not a fear
get
you have
humbled
to
by
worry
that.
about.
Well, and that's what I say. I know it's not I wouldn't know it because I wouldn't be here. But that's something that.
But you should know though that people care about you.
No, I don't think that people don't care about me. But I think if I had any honest fear, and if I was being honest with myself, that's probably the honest truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a fear for me too, dying alone.
Yeah.
I think that'd be one true fear I would have. I would never want to die alone.
I don't know if I would worry
You know,
so much.
I don't want them to sit beside me necessarily. I mean, my father-in-law just died this last week. You know, and so I don't want death watch on me, but I want to know that somebody's going to be there to take care of the business of death after I die.
Yeah.
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 I would agree with that. I don't know if I'm worried about dying alone, but I definitely don't want to be like, I don't want it to be like days before somebody knows.
You're right. Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. All right. So, next question. We're on number 15. If you were president, what's the first thing you would do?
What?
I told you these questions are real. 21 questions is a very different game than a few of my favorite things.
I
Right.
would want to see all the confidential, you can't see this until you're the president,
Yeah.
and then make some freaking decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, but so yeah. So if it's classified, bring it in. I want to see it, and I want to see it now.
If it happened right now,
Yes.
I would start trying to appoint a chief justice that would overturn Citizens United. Get the money out of politics.
I'll go with that. Actually.
I would, it'd be a pretty deep thing. It'd be a battle. But what's happened with the Great Society is it's failed. So we have to turn around and start with education. We have to turn around and find ways to teach people to be self-sustaining and get them jobs and do not the political thing to say, I have a voting base here, but get real about helping people out of their poverty
Yes.
and give them things that they can have that are real. And it's become so political, it just makes me sick when I see it. And that's where I would be. I would be huge on welfare reform and finding real solutions to get people out, not worry about they're going to vote in another damn term or not, because I don't care. I'm here to make a real
I actually
change.
want to do something with my time.
Yes, that would be my main thing.
I'm saying.
I mean, you know, all of that. It's just, I don't really know. I mean, you can say what you want to do, but, you know, we've had this discussion a lot. Being president doesn't give you the power that people think it gives you.
Oh, very
So
true.
you have to, I mean, I would try to surround myself with people that, you know, were
That's most
tolerant
important. Yeah, you have to,
and
have good people
open-minded
around.
and don't, that they can truly be, you know, I know the justice side is supposed to be blind, but I feel like, you know, politicians can be too, if they really, you know,
If they
want it
wanna
to be.
I don't know. Yeah, you know, actually, that question goes back and forth in my mind. If you ask me this week, I would want to enact a mass, nationwide
No guns.
police retraining.
Yeah.
It's because it's not. What I've come to realize is there's just a lot of fear. You know, because like you can watch 2 videos of the almost exact same stop, and you get one guy who walks up and he's like, "Okay, so what's going on here?" You know, and he's trying to figure out the situation, and then you get another guy who walks up, hands already on his gun. You know, and that's because somebody's afraid.
Yeah.
You're walking into a situation and you're
But
already
you can't-
afraid.
You can't train that out of people.
Well, what I do believe is, you know, and me and Dave have talked about this, I don't believe in trying to make large swaths of people into victims.
Mhm.
But what I do believe is that our system from inception was set up to favor. And since it was, we have to be honest about that, like be able to have a real conversation about that without it hurting somebody's feelings. It's just like, no, it's just, look, it was written into the Constitution this way. It was set up to favor and to disfavor, So therefore, if that's true, you're already walking into the situation, whether you realize it or not, looking at this person or that person like they're not quite worthy of the same level of just tolerance and you being willing to de-escalate that you would another.
Right.
And if that's true, then we need to really come up with a system that vets our officers in a different way.
Yeah.
And not just vet them like, are you capable of being police? Because I'm sure that they all are very capable of being police. But there's got to be, and look, they do it in corporate America, there's got to be a certain level of psychological testing to know where to put you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be right for this department.
Right.
There-
Not
there is a
necessarily you're not wrong for
Yeah, they
being
do, actually,
police,
but-
They do.
but I think it's got to go one more. You're not right for this department
Right.
because the way the psych test proved out, you have some natural fears, you have some natural biases that will make you a less effective officer in this department.
Yeah.
Now, the department 2 precincts over, you may be very perfectly well suited for that department, and let's see if we can get you in over there. I don't want to say that this person or that person shouldn't be police, but I do believe if you're if you're afraid to deal with the people that you're policing, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Well,
And
and we really ought to have a podcast on this very, 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 very deep subject because it's systematic failure from long ago.
oh yeah,
And how it comes forward, and there's so many. It's a huge factor thing, and I've been studying it a lot.
Yeah, we could sit here and talk about this for at least another hour.
But the interesting thing, one of the things that the chief of police in Dallas did today, who I really think has handled himself very well.
yeah.
He said something very interesting. He says, we're asking our officers to do too much.
It's very possible.
And that makes you think. Just think about that a little bit. Because we have systematic failure of parenting. We have too many people that, as I brought up before, that are mental, should be in mental institutions.
Yeah.
Not to run the street. The Sandy Hook kid
Yeah.
should have never, ever, ever, ever been out on the street. He was totally gone in his early years. And his mother took him to a gun range.
Yeah.
And taught him to shoot.
It taught him to shoot. Yeah.
This kid should never, ever, ever been around a gun. So, and on and on. I mean, like I said, I studied this quite a bit because it is a systematic failure, and it is starting to come to fruit. And it's just not a failure of the police; it's also a failure of the public. It's a failure of the system, which is a great society, really has failed a lot of things and created a lot of these different issues. But it gets way too deep to go too far into this.
Yeah. This particular question.
But it's would be I do believe, and especially we have a couple more people on the panel, that would be an unreal deep subject that we could get into because we're not all going to agree on it. And
No, true.
But boy, we can sure dive into some interesting stuff doing that.
Absolutely. All right, where are we? Oh, 16. If you could witness any event of the past, present, or future, what would it be?
Of the future?
Yeah, past, present, or future.
I mean, in the stages, the colonizing of our solar system, and then intergalactic space travel.
In stages.
Yeah, because I mean, solar colonization, I think, is within the realm of possibility, because we obviously can get crafts to different planets here.
Yes.
It's not. I mean, the colonization of another celestial body in our solar system is very far off in the future due to just resources and that kind of thing, and technology. But I think it's possible. I'm not so sure about intergalactic space travel and colonization of bodies in other solar systems. But I would love to see it, and I think it's tragic that we don't get to live long enough to see it. But that is one of my biggest interests.
All right.
So, yeah.
Between 3rd and 4th grade, I got my eyes shot with a BB gun. So I spent my whole first semester of 4th grade bedridden. And they gave me an Apollo rocket launcher. And among other things, but that was the coolest thing, because it had the doors and the lunar module fit in, and everything was there. All the motors were inside.
Cool.
And I took my time. They built me, my grandfather built me a big bed platform to work off of and everything else. But for me, as a kid at that age, to be at one of the launchings of the Apollo, and be able to sit there and feel that roar, feel that rumble, and see that big old spaceship head up and head out. That would have been the coolest thing in the world for that kid at that time.
Now, Ms. Female, what do you think?
I would go back to, I would want to actually, I don't know that I would really want to see him shot, but I would like to witness the Kennedy shooting.
Go back to that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would want to see him literally get shot, but I would like
sort
to
of
be
the
there and
aftermath
see it.
Yeah. Let's say, you're right.
Knowing what I know now, I would like to be there and witness it.
With
Knowing,
the,
not like actually being alive at that time.
Yeah.
But you're gonna go grassy knoll and kick that guy's ass.
I have my theory on it. I've seen the place. I just don't see that there's any way possible that it could have happened the way they said it happened.
Yeah,
So I would personally like to see that. I mean, there's all kinds of other stuff.
That was just also crazy, and then Ruby coming and killing him and everything.
Yeah.
That was way hairy stuff.
Yeah. I think for me, this kind of goes back to times that I spent with my grandparents. I would love to go back to and actually be there and hear it for myself. The Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech.
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of neat to see Lincoln's.
Yeah.
Gettysburg Address.
Gettysburg Address. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many.
I know.
But they're, things that you only imagine.